and learning.
Hey,
Because I see what he's doing.
You got to.
Oh, we live. Let's go. Meeting now, streaming. We live on Facebook. So you got to know what you're doing now. Like, it's time, baby. Let's do it.
Hey, man. So, hey, T, man. First of all, you know how we do. We're here to really talk about something that, a lot of people may question, a lot of people may wonder, a lot of people may, not be real comfortable talking with, but at the same time, it's a conversation that needs to be had, and when it comes to money, a lot of us, even myself and probably yourself, you've heard the saying, money is the root of all evil, right? And just to share a little bit about like what I've been learning, since I've, kind of been, following your steps. You've been laying the stones for me. You've been, sharing your knowledge with me. And one of the best ways for us to succeed in anything we're doing in life, especially in, in this opportunity that we're in, is, when you have somebody who has gone before you, being able to teach that information, that cuts the time frame for you to achieve whatever level of success you're trying to achieve. It cuts it in half because somebody has gone before you. So when you're talking about money is the root of all evil, I know, and we're not going to get biblical on here, right? We're going to have a good time. So if people that are following me, hey, y'all are going to want to listen to this. Y'all are going to want to tag somebody that can benefit from learning. Just come talk with us, jump in the chat, share your feedback. If you're following Terrence, hey, y'all know the deal. And of course, y'all know, drop your city and drop your state. We'd like to know where, how far our broadcast is reaching. But from a biblical perspective, when it comes to money, right? We were all taught that money is the root of all evil, right? Money is, people get greedy, those kind of thoughts and things are poured into us, right? They're poured into our brain at an early age. And we begin to grow up to understand, like, well, shoot, I know I'm struggling financially, but I also have been told that money is the root of all evil. So what do I do? So Terrence, man, I just ask you, man, and because I consider you an OG. You're my mentor. So you have gone before me, right? But what is your thought behind people? If somebody, because I'm sure somebody has told you, hey, man, you always talk about money. You always talk about wealth. Did you know that money is the root of all evil? Is that true? And how do you feel about that?
Hey, man, first of all, hey, I appreciate for being on your live. I see you, man. I listen to you. And now we are going to talk about the mindset, okay, the mentality. Because one, and I got to give you your props too, man. You be dropping a lot of knowledge, man. I'll be taking notes. Just like I just took notes just then when you're talking about greed, because you just said something right then. So first and foremost, I appreciate you. And I appreciate our connection. And I appreciate what we stand for when it comes to talking about money. And let's talk about money, though. But one thing that I want people to understand, and I'm growing old. I'm not an OG, but I am growing old because I'm still learning, right? But one thing, because you mentioned greed, right? And you mentioned the Bible and you mentioned religion. No, this ain't about religion, no. But just yesterday, I did have a gentleman that we talked about that. And they said, yeah, money is the root of all evil. And I just had to disagree because, I have mentorship too. And I remember the first thing that my mentor had said, he said he never seen a dollar bill get up and slap nobody. So that's how people think about money. Now, we all being programmed some kind of way, Nick. And you said greed. Okay, now let's talk about greed. To me, in my mind, how I think about greed, if a person can't give, they greedy. Now, anybody that can't give, they cannot give. That's greed, because now you're holding on to somebody else's blessing. And since we're talking about money, right? And if you get greedy with money and greed ain't good and you can't give, the opposite of good got to be bad, right? That's just the truth. Let's just apply logic, right? So if you do read the scripture, okay, which we're not trying to put no religion on nobody. You'll tell me to read this book, Think and Grow Rich. Okay, I say read this book, the Bible. You want to think, oh, the Bible is religion. It's a book. But even in that book, it say for the love of the money. It don't say money is the root of all evil. It say for the love of the money. So I just ask everybody who think that, go read that book and don't cut it off. A lot of people all the time, they sell themselves short because they cut off something because of how they think. So now that has been programmed into you, that's what a generational curse started to form. You're going to pass that down to, we all seeds, first of all, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to plant yourself somewhere, good or bad, but we all good. We talking about the good people. We talking about the good seeds. And you will reap a harvest of whatever that is you planting. All you got to do is just look around at whatever harvesting. Leadership starts from the top. So if it's a bad leader, a greedy leader, guess what they're going to do? The harvest is going to be a bunch of bad, whatever they are. When you see somebody trying to help people, like you do a great job, and a lot of people that we associate ourselves do a great job with helping people, guess what you create? A bunch of people who like to help people. Now let's talk about the subject though. I just wanted to put that there to give people a perspective so we could teach them how to think and just stop accepting everybody's thought, because those thoughts are going to become a thing and we don't want you to turn into a greedy person. But I always tell people, if you just hold your fist like this, Nick, what could get in?
Nothing.
Okay, you agree. Exactly. So you ain't giving nothing. How are you going to expect the return on anything? And you wondering why you struggling. Nick, let's just speak on this real quick. And I hate, and I ain't trying to talk too long, but I'm going to throw it right back at you though. But Nick, it's how we think about money. And the reason why I say it's how we think about money is because of, or that's the reason why you don't have no money. Let's just say that. Nick, when I talk about, and what I talk about, I be transparent. Myself, Nick, and I'm cool with it, I could not show $1 saved for every hour that I worked. Nick, if people take the time, come on now, in America, if people take the time and do the math, they know they can't show $1 saved for every hour they work neither. They know it. But their mindset, I know. That was me. That's why I started talking to you and shared it with you.
Yeah.
And see, you was able to be like, dang, I can't show it neither. So it humbled us and it helped us and it encouraged us to learn. It didn't discourage us. And we never compete with nobody and look at nobody else. We just stayed in our own lane and we just kept understanding the fundamentals of how money works. But the questions I have, Nick, like, I don't even know the answer. And I'm not going to try to wrap my brains around it because I know we have crabs in the barrel, and I'm not trying to go back to where I come from. That's dumb. That's dumb. So what I like to do is try to go back and help people. But once again, it's how they think about money, because they never was taught the correct method of how money works. And just to help give proof. And we don't never knock jobs, okay? So don't ever think that. And we ain't gonna tell you to quit your job. But what we will do is help you understand how you want to be like whoever hired you, whoever owns, I'm sorry, not hired you, because that's an employee too. Whoever owned the company, right? I said this to this person. I said, do you see the person who owned that corporation on the assembly line or either next to you working? They say no. Okay. Well, how could he not be there, but he owned it and you there? Now, I'm gonna help you understand this, and I'm gonna turn it back over to you because I got a lot I like to say. Because when you open it up like that, you just created this. But think about this, and I heard one of my financial mentors say this about Walmart, right? Sam Walton. You know who Sam Walton is, right?
Yep.
Now, here's how he thought. He said, man, I need to hire 200,000 employees so my kids will never have to work. So my kids could, at least when he passed, they won't go through what he went through. That's probably why you learning money, because you don't want your daughter to start where you started at. But money is the root of all evil. You already don't respect it. What you don't respect, you will repel. That's why you don't have no money, because you don't respect it. Now you got kids. What you think that seed gonna harvest? Remember we're talking about the stuff from the top?
Yep.
Now what you think you're gonna harvest on the kids? Money ain't nothing. It ain't about money. I got some people that work for the money and they say, man, I see this thing about money different. Well, stop working.
That's a fact.
Because you can't tell me you going to work because you love that work. Because if you love that work, you don't have to go to work to do it. You just stay home and do it, or you'll go wherever and do it. Sometimes you won't even have to get paid. Like, we don't ever get paid to do any of this that we do.
Yeah, exactly. And the crazy part about it, and you know, you shared this with me before, and you know, some of our I call them, you know, our millionaire mentors, you know, they share it. You know, you've been taught wrong for so long that when you see right is wrong, no matter how you look at it. If you view money this way over here, no matter how I paint it, no matter how I lay it out for you, no matter how I break it down, if you still look at money this way over here, you know, that's where your struggles are. You know, like you said, we don't knock jobs. We don't ever want anybody to feel guilty about working a job, but just know that society has created a system. And if you stay in line with that system, go to school, get a good job, you know, go to college if you choose, and then work the next 40, 50 years, you stay in that system, you're going to fall to what society has done. Just like the example you gave with Sam Walton. I guarantee you, everybody that follows you and follows me has been to Walmart at least one time in their life. You have contributed to something that he has built because he understands money from a different perspective. So when you're teaching your kids, I never speak about money being the root of all evil. In fact, I teach, and you've taught me this as well, that you're supposed to be giving more. You're supposed to be giving back more than you're supposed to be taking in, right? And I'll just throw his name out there, Tony Robbins, somebody I have a ton of respect for. Never met the guy, but I listen to a lot of his information. But see, when people, successful people, especially people who understand money and are having success doing it, the topic that we're talking about today, money is the root of all evil. People would look at those type of people, look at that like, man, are you crazy? You guys are misunderstanding what it's actually saying. It's the love of all money. Because, you know, I've also heard this too, Terrence, and you probably have heard it. You don't see any wealthy people out here robbing the banks. You don't see any wealthy people out here sticking these stores up. You see people who are chasing the money, right? The lack of money, right? The lack of money is the root of all evil. People who don't have money, you know, and I'm not going to speak on the pandemic with all this stuff because that is a touchy subject. But during this pandemic, we had what was called the stimulus check. People that looked at money one way took that stimulus check and went and bought what? Trash. Even during the pandemic, people looked at money a certain way and went and bought trash. I know some people that I follow that didn't even need the stimulus check. Hey, thank you. It's a blessing. I don't really need it, you know? So, but those people took that money and did something smart with it. So, you know, for everybody that's following us today and is tuning in, this is not a conversation to say you're necessarily wrong for saying money is the root of all evil, but we're giving everyone the perspective to understand that it's okay if you've been taught wrong. Me and Terrence were taught wrong for so long until recently, until we learn what we're learning. And we're now on the journey. And like Terrence said, you know, we're reaching back and we're pulling people up to help, but you can't be in that crab in the bucket mentality, right? So not everybody wants to be helped, but at the same time, we're here to help each and every one of you.
And they don't want to be helped because remember how they were programmed. Remember, that's what I don't want to say, let's just say the guardian. That's what their guardian taught them. And I will speak on the pandemic. It's okay because I like to be what I think true. And this is me speaking. And if I'm wrong, hey, pull me back. Don't y'all look at me and laugh at me. He wrong. Well, help me. Comment on this post that he's wrong. But let's talk about the pandemic because you did say something, and I'm going to let you go and we're done after this. Well, I'm going to be on it however long you want to, but the pandemic, you said the lack of money is costing you money, right? And we talking about the programming, right? Now, one of my mentors who trained me mentally, he said, when you have more degrees than you have jobs, what do you expect to happen? You got people out there, I know people that got more degrees than a thermometer. Now they overqualified for a job. Now they out of job. Now they out of work. That was a system.
Yep.
So people gonna do what they have to do. Desperate people will do desperate things. Anybody out here doing something desperate during this pandemic, see, now the truth's finna come all, it's finna come full circle. What don't they know about money? You see what I'm saying? So that's what, you know, when I'm talking about money now. Okay, we're talking about money, so let's keep it crystal clear. Because I think if the people, and I don't care what y'all say, in the Bible, it's an old book. I'm not pushing my religion on you, but it say the poor will always be amongst us. But what I do know, Nick, everybody has a choice. See?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to believe something. It just so happened a lot of people got caught up believing in go to school, get a good job, get another degree. You're gonna make it to the top. Come on now, I'm 44. I done watched this cycle, and the people now that got the degrees, and I don't knock degrees. I don't. I want everybody that I'm associated with to be successful. I want everybody to be successful, but I know that's not gonna happen because the poor will always be amongst us. So come on now, I'm not brain dead. And I just said that because I hope people wake up, Nick, because the Bible also says, and I don't know why we're talking about the Bible, but I read that book. Everybody talking about read the book. What books you read it? Think and Grow Rich. Well, you know, I got a lot of books over here I can pull out. But I like the information. But a fool and their money, it always parts. A fool and their money always go separate ways. Yep. That's why you always hear me say, new money and the old you would not go together. Because that's why you were living, that's why, not you, I was living paycheck to paycheck. Then I seen and witnessed somebody get some new money, and within 6 months later, that new money was gone. They had started living on the increase instead of getting out of debt with the increase.
Yep.
It's programming. But that's all, Nick. I know we done spent on too much time on here.
Hey,
I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Yeah. And you know how we do. We can get on here and I could be talking to you for hours. You know, we've had personal conversations just because, you know, now we understand, you know, you brought me from, you know, that side of you gave me a different perspective. So I hope that each one of, you know, the people that are following me, they're watching this and you take a perspective. I got it. There are some people out there, you know, I know my situation jacked up. I just don't want to do nothing about it. Hey, cool. But for those of you that, you know, are looking to change the situation, you're open to, you know, embarking on the journey, join us on the journey. We ain't made it yet, you know, but we're here to help and we're reaching back down. That's the reason that, you know, I'm working with Terrence and Terrence is helping me. I'm helping him. We're helping people who want to be helped and we're having fun doing it, right? Because, you know, God,
and we realize that we can't help everybody. Everybody
yeah, we can't.
Help, but I'm sorry.
We can't help everybody, right? But God did, you know, give you the power and the ability to gain wealth. It's up to you if you want to obtain that and you want to join us on that journey. So if y'all are following me, y'all know the deal. Hey, inbox me, comment on this video. We always like a challenge as well. If you have any kind of information you want to share, you want to, you know, share your feedback on how you feel the root of, you know, money is evil. I mean, however you want to put it. Hey, feel free to comment on this video, right? But again, Terrence, hey man, I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for jumping on here, man. I know you got a ton of followers watching this, so you know, hey, y'all have enough respect and get back with this man and let him know, hey man, what you and Nick were talking about did make a lot of sense, man. So hey, if it made sense to you and you do what makes sense, man, hey, y'all know the deal. Comment on this video, like this video, hit us up in the inbox, man. But hey, Terrence, man, like always, man, I always appreciate each and everything that you do, man. And you know, it's fun watching you on your journey, man. And I'll see you at the top.
Absolutely, baby. From one A to the other A, from Alaska to Augusta. Hey, much love to you. Thank you for having me, man. And you already know what I like to say, and I have to say it real quick. And I hope your audience will listen to it because you said something. People don't do what makes sense all the time. But like I always say, the biggest room in the world is that room for improvement. However, if you want to improve, it makes and only makes sense if you step in that room. Nick, I'm done.
I appreciate you, T, man, and you know how we do, man. We'll connect and collab again, man. So y'all look out for the next video coming up. But hey, we appreciate all the listeners that jumped on and y'all caught the replay. Y'all know what to do, and we will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.
Peace.